So it's pretty much time to check out before we hop into Elden Ring. It's pretty much time to hop into the new Stoneshard devlogs and see what exactly we are talking about here. There are a couple that I've missed. A couple of devlogs that I really want to check out. So let's see what they have to offer here, eh? Man, Stoneshard is such a good game, dude. Such a good game, bro. Okay. Alright, let's do that. Okay, excellent. So, Arcanists. Hey. Hello everyone, in today's devlog we are talking about Arcanists, a new ability texture that we like in the game. Arcanists is perhaps the most distinct form of sorcery, offering unique ways to control the battlefield. Drawing power directly from the ethereal realm, the primal source of magical energies, the school focuses on manipulating spaces to limit the extended time. What Arcanists lacks direct damage, especially early on, it balances out with versatile tools for positioning and crown control. The higher tier spells will even let you summon allies to aid you in battle, but let's go through step by step. Ooh, crown control things, eh? Lightning magic does that in a very nice extent. I wonder how this does though. Like all magic schools, Arcanists includes 14 abilities, 7 active and 5 passive. 7 passive. Yeah. Dimensional Rift. Oh, is that? Ah, nice. Swap some places. Nice. This entry level spell lets you select 2 targets, including yourself, and teleport them, forcibly swapping their positions. Okay, that was my first question. You can actually swap yourself too. That's gonna be real nice for the start of the game. The spell deals full amount of arcane damage for each tile of distance between the targets and has a moderate chance to confuse or daze them, while also applying stack penalties to weapon damage, accuracy and fable chance for a few turns. So I wonder that's gonna include you too, right? The spell doesn't harm the caster. Ah, oh shit! There's my answer, man. There's my answer. Okay, so if you cast yourself and the enemy, you only damage the enemy, doesn't harm yourself, and can't be used on inanimate objects except the ones summoned by the ability tree or giant targets, such as bosses. Ah, I see. Okay, a wormhole. Oh shit, nice. So you practically teleport them back, right? Lets you select a target, including yourself, marking style and remembering its current position. After a few turns, the target will be turned to the marked tile, or the closest available one, receiving significant arcane damage if it's already occupied. Oh, that is cool. The spell doesn't go on cooldown until the mark expires. During this time, recasting the spell removes the effect prematurely, returning the target to its original tile. This spell can't be used on inanimate objects. Again, ability tree, summons or giant targets as bosses. Alright, I mean that's pretty cool. That's gonna help you keep your distance between, especially early on, right? Generally it's quite a nicely versatile skill, I would say. Ether Shield. So it is like, okay. Creates a magic shield around the caster for a few turns, decreasing incoming damage and granting bonus to control, bleed and movement resistance. So it's not exactly like the the lightning one where you reflect damage. This one reduces damage taken and effects and stuff like that. Okay. While the shield is active, teleporting prolongs the effect's duration and temporarily adds arcane damage to the caster attacks. Oh, nice. So it functions as a buffer too. The shield also converts a portion of received damage into energy and destroys any physical or magical projectiles that would hit the caster, preventing their damage and effects entirely. This includes thrown objects such as target bombs or hunting nets. Oh shit, hunting nets too. And finally, any target colliding with the shield character will receive some arcane damage. Alright, that is pretty nice. This has distinct changes, differences from the lightning one, which is pretty damn cool. Okay, let me change Stoneshard. Alright, very nice. Just for reference, I would say. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Perfect. Okay. Schism. What's that? Okay. Interesting. Let you select a fire tile area, dealing arcane damage to all targets within it. Afterwards, knocks back all enemies in one tile radius away from the caster's center and pulls all enemies in a 2-tile radius towards it, forcing them to collide. Oh, that's what it did. Actually, it dazed them. Yeah. Bounced them all together and it dazed them. Okay, cool. All affected enemies also have a chance to be staggered and immobilized. So it's a mass AoE then. Stasis. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Apply stasis to a select target. While stasis is the target is immune to all damage except arcane. Oh, except arcane, so you can still do damage to the guy. And if you can, arcane damage, that is. Until the effect expires, stasis also freezes all the target's cooldowns and the duration of other active effects. When stasis expires or it's removed, any arcana damage received by the target over the course of this effect duration is dealt 3/3 area with a chance to stun and mobilize all affected targets. Nice. Teleporting a target in state with stasis removes the effect prematurely and doubles the chance to stun and pre-mobilize. Nice, alright. So you can stun someone, you can put him in stasis, and then you can teleport them and pretty much guarantee that you are going to stun them, right? This spell can be used on inanimate objects except the one summoned by the military. Right. Mana crystal. So is that... Oh, that works like a turret. Nice. Like a static turret. Summons an inanimate magic crystal on the target tile, which persists for 8 turns. Each turn, the crystal shoots a bolt of arcane energy at the closest enemy, prioritizing the ones with low health. Smart. Teleporting the crystal causes it to shoot 3 arcane balls, spreading them between random enemies within its range. The crystal stats change dynamically depending on the casters. Ooh, that is awesome, dude. You can actually have a turret in your gameplay, and it scales with your level. Nice. Phantasm. So it makes you ethereal and you don't take the... Oh, nice. Look at that. It's a copy of yourself. Summons a phantasm on target tile which persists for 8 turns. The phantasm is immune to all effects except wormhole and stasis, and can move within a small area around the tile of summoning. The phantasm attacks enemies in melee range, can be healed with arcane damage, and its stats change dynamically depending on the casters. Additionally, the phantasm itself has access to the following abilities. No way. Arcane Tether. A ranged ability that deals arcane damage that has a chance to pull targets adjacent tile. Mana Siphon. An empowered strike that burns target's energy, transferring to the caster. Ooh, okay. That last thing. This was already very nice. This is really cool. You can actually transfer it to your own guy. That is super cool. Consonance. Performing a miracle while casting Arcanistic spells prolongs the existence of the summoned phantasm by 1 turn. Teleporting the phantasm instantly refreshes its active cooldowns and moves its tether tile to a new location. Damn, okay, so you can manipulate the phantasm like that. Passive abilities, Arcane Might. Dealing arcane might with attacks and spells grants bonus to accuracy, fumble chance, backfire chance, crit chance, and miracle chance. Teleporting grants bonus range to arcane spells for Arcanistics spell for a few turns and reduces accumulated backfire damage. Okay, so the more hit the ghost casts, the better it gets. Transcendental Anchoring. Teleporting enemies burns some of their energy transferred to the caster, to the character. Teleporting yourself or the entities summoned with Arcanistic reduces its cooldown dimension of it by 2 turns. Time Echo. Casting Wormhole on yourself and returning to the original tile will replenish 30% of their health energy. Alright. Casting Wormhole on enemies will deal additional arcane damage to them upon returning to the original tile, equal to 30% of the damage they receive after the effect's duration. God damn, man! Astral Tides. Successfully moving enemies with Schism or the summoned Phantasm's Arcane Tether lowers their magic and arcane resistance for a few turns. Failing to do so will instead deal additional arcane damage to them. Entropy Flare. Teleporting a mana crystal grants bonuses to range, damage, accuracy, and damage reflection for a few turns. When hit in melee, mana crystal and phantasm will now deal arcane damage to their attackers. Ha! It has Thorn! It has a Thorn ability too. Nice! Ether Harmony. Every turns performing a miracle when casting mana crystal instantly refreshes the spell cooldown and reduces its energy cost until it's cast again. Ooh! Each currently summoned Arcanistics entity grants the character bonus magic power and gradually reduces their backfire damage. So I wonder, can you have more than one crystal down then? Every 10 turns, casting mana crystal instantly refreshes the spell's cooldown and reduces energy. So can you have more than one every 10 turns, or is that like a cap on it? We'll see. Beyond the Veil. Casting stasis on yourself no longer causes the character to take damage or receive debuffs when the effect expires. While in stasis, the character cooldowns are no longer frozen, and the effect itself grants major bonuses to the Arcanistic powers and Miracle Chance. When the effect expires, the character will receive between 2 walls for 1 turn, making them untargetable by any attacks and spells. Nice! As you can see, Arcanistic is a highly versatile tool that opens up a wide range of tactical possibilities, perfect for complementing many existing builds and forming a foundation for entirely new ones. To wrap things up, here's another small teaser. Oh shit! God damn, that's a big fucking worm! Up until next time. Damn! Okay, that's a big worm, eh? That's a big disgusting worm right there. Okay, that was epic. And we have one more about the Psyche stream overhaul. I wonder, that must be, I mean, this the Arcanistic spells stream must be, is actually one that ties very well with fire, or especially with lightning. I think it would be really well, like those offensive ones. Fire, lightning. I mean, lightning with the crown control that lightning has, man, that's gonna be like lightning and Arcanistic is gonna be really powerful. Psyche system overhaul. Alright, let's see. In today's devlog, we'll talk about the reworked Psyche system, which will be part of the next major update, Beasts and Sages. Let's start by exploring why the Psyche even needed a major revamp. As it stands, the oldest remaining mechanic, largely untouched since the early demo builds, despite having several clear flaws. The system only, really, is that was, it's the only system they haven't touched. Actually, it's not false, eh? It's not false. It's been a while since we had any changes on how it works. The system was only partially complete. In our initial design, each quadrant of the morale sanity chart was meant to include 4 distinct psyche states. Unfortunately, we never got to implementing the states for the combination of low morale and low sanity. The same goes for the original vision of hypochondria, which required functioning diseases before they could be properly added to the game. I see. I think I had it happening once, by the way. The hypochondria effect. The concept of unique triggers for each state sounded great on paper, but in practice it proved to be far too obscure even for us developers. Some states were extremely common due to their simple, easily reproducible conditions, while others were so rare and tied to such convoluted triggers that players had to resort to wiki guides and meticulous planning to discover them. Shout out to all the madmen who actually managed to unlock ups and downs achievement. The system simply didn't feel dynamic, varied, and responsive enough. Yeah, actually that's true, isn't it? There are psyche mechanics that I remember finding out completely by accident. Like there are mechanics I've found like once, for example, and I still have no idea what exactly triggered them. That's pretty true. Extremely convoluted and rare, isn't it? The concept of unique triggers for each state sounded good on paper. Yes, responsive enough. While certain states had interesting mechanics, most could be boiled down to simple stat changes that didn't encourage players to adapt their strategy in any way. Yeah, true. The majority of interactions with the psyche system were primitive and lopsided. Any horrors and hardships could be completely forgotten after a few nights of sleep. True, very true, man. Practically, you go into town, you sleep a couple of days, get your morale up, and GG's pretty much, right? Maybe gulp down a potion, and there you go. Couple of plants. Before anything else, we wanted to fundamentally change the focus of psyche maintenance, making it a reflection of your mercenaries' long-term living patterns rather than just a bar you top by gorging on midward. That's exactly what I said! Remember when I talked about plants like 2 seconds ago? Yeah, that's what I do. I would come back fucked up on my mind from a quest and whatnot, and I would go around a couple of blocks, a couple of squares, and gather all the midward I can find, just spam that shit, and you will be back running in no time, right? Okay, it's good that they know about it. I mean, of course they do, but either way, it's good that they actually know about it. The solution we turned to was to transform morale and sanity into compound stats, split it to several segments with different caps and conditions for maintaining them. In this new system, both morale and sanity are half dependent on the emergent situation your characters find themselves in, and half dependent on their sustained routine, such as sleep, diet, and so on. Interesting. So if you keep going and eating just sausages and whatnot, or eating just plants, you're gonna end up fucking your character up, right? That's pretty cool. I mean, I always thought that the way you eat and what you feed your character should actually play a role on his sanity and his morale and stuff like that. In other words, a grounded and comfortable way of living serves as a sort of buffer, allowing the character to experience positive psyche states even when facing all kinds of unpleasant challenges. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Like, what is the reason? Why would you spend money buying expensive food and stuff like that, right? For just some little bit of buff they have on them. If it's not plays an actual role of morale and happiness, but like how good of a food you eat, like you can literally survive just by eating grapes, for example, right? Or bread, just bread. Requires a little small amount of tiles in your inventory. You buy 3-4 breads, for example, and geez, that's it. There are rivers everywhere. You can always fill up your flask and stuff like that for the extra thirds that it has. But so this actually makes sense. You actually want to have better quality food, right? Like for the expensive inn in the main town, for example. Morale is divided into 3 segments: situations, diet, and sleep. Morale, 70%. Your character's readiness to fight and overcome. This stat depends on several factors. 38% and 50 to 50% success or failure in battles and exploration, as well as the effects of certain consumables. 23% to 35% quality and variety of consumed food. Perfect. 12% and 15% sufficient and consistent sleep. So sleeping enough, not only sleeping, but sleeping enough is actually important too. Like sleeping like 2-3 hours just to remove a status effect, for example, won't just cut it, right? Morale below 50% results in negative psyche states. Fair enough, fair enough. Situations cover everything that can affect your character during combat and exploration. Killing enemies, completing contracts, picking locks, disarming traps, landing critical hits, missing and fumbling contributes to situational morale to various extent. Its maximum impact is capped at 50%. Diet is responsible for 35% of morale. Eating quality food will have a prolonged beneficial effect on your character's psyche, but only if their meals are sufficient diverse. If your mech eats nothing but fried eggs, bread, and meat skewers, they'll eventually grow sick of it, leading to a gradual decline in morale. Ha! Shit, nice. That's what I said about the bread and stuff like that, and sausages. The remaining 15% come from sleep. As you might expect, regular and sufficient rest will contribute towards the segment, while prolonged wakefulness will do exactly the opposite. So this is a negative situation in here, right? A dark cave, no heat, no fire. Sanity functions very similarly. 50% of it is dedicated to situations. This segment is negatively affected by killing humans, but can be replenished by slaying the undead and proselytes. Oh, the vampires, huh? So killing humans affects your sanity negatively, but killing undead and vampires affects it positively. So you should be mindful of spamming human dungeons all the time. Other factors include having high morale, close encounters with unholy magic and its abominations, head injuries, grave robbing, casting miracles, backfire spells, using certain consumables, and more. Another 30% is governed by lifestyle, which includes work and recreation. This segment slowly decays over time but can be maintained over completing contracts, chatting to NPCs, cooking, crafting, and praying. The lists of relevant activities will be greatly expanded in the future. A good example would be the ability to go fishing or pay a visit to the bathhouse. Oh, the bathhouse, nice, the brothel. It's not active right now. I was wondering when you're gonna activate that. The final 50% of sanity is tied to sleep, just like with morale. All in all, the new system is capable of providing vast roleplay possibilities and can potentially integrate into other areas of the game. For instance, some conditions can theoretically influence different characters' psyche in very decent ways, which will give us a lot of tools to work while implementing traits and the character creator. Oh yeah, true, dude. That's gonna play a major role on the character creator. Let's move on to the psyche states themselves and what makes them occur. The general idea was to standardize and greatly simplify the triggers. The result is 3 states per morale, sanity quadrant, each connected to one of the following conditions. No enemies nearby. The states associated with this condition often persist for a long while until replaced by something else. High health and multiple enemies nearby. Such states usually last for 2-3 fights worth of time. Low health and at least one enemy nearby. These are the shortest lasting states, frequently ending with a single fight. Oh, like for example, Last Stand or Berserk, for example, right? Yeah, I mean it's short-lived, right? That makes sense. When fulfilled, the condition will gradually contribute towards an invisible progress meter, triggering the destinated state upon reach 100%. Now, why don't we take a closer look? Okay. So you have high morale, low sanity, high sanity, and low morale. Interesting. So when you have high morale and low sanity, madness, there is, and this must be Berserk, right? Interesting. Interesting. So you have high morale and high sanity, optimism. So this pretty much remain the same, right? Like the buff you get after a good night's sleep, for example, when you are in town or whatever. No enemies nearby, condition makes sense. Optimism has remained mostly unchanged. Yeah, that's why I said it's the buff that you get after you rest in town usually. It grants bonuses to experience gain, fortitude, which now also reduce psyche loss. Oh, so okay, that's a new one. Fortitude now reduces sanity loss, psyche loss from all sources, while also slowly restoring morale, immunity, and slightly reducing fatigue. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, heroism. Let's see if they changed anything here. So heroism is also high sanity and high morale. Usually when after you slaughter 2-3 guys in a row, right? Heroism now scales with the number of visible enemies. Yep. Each attack on the effect grants bonuses to weapon damage, magic power, crit chance, miracle card chance, accuracy and life drain. Oh, and life drain. Additionally, killing enemies replenishes some energy and grants a temporary boost to healing efficiency. I think this is new, by the way. I think the energy drain, the energy replenishment, the thing is new. I'm not really sure though. I could be wrong about it. So the another effect that high morale, high sanity has is, what is it? Second wind. Oh, okay. This used to have a wing, 2 wings symbol. I don't know if you guys remember, there was 2 wings with medic symbol in the middle or something. Low health and at least 1 enemy nearby. Yeah. It would be possible to count how many cinematic moments this effect has brought to the game. It's true. So we decided to keep it with only a few minor tweaks. Second wind clears physical debuffs and replenishes health and energy upon activation. Slightly less than before, okay. Then continues to replenish small amounts of health and energy every turn. Other than that, it reduces ongoing cooldowns every turn, provides once per activation 50% chance to avoid death. And finally, second wind can activate upon receiving lethal damage, even if its progress meter isn't fully charged, or another psyche state or is already present. Yeah, man. Like I don't even know how many times this status has saved my ass. Like literally, though. So this one of some of the best moments in the game have been happening due to second wind. So now you have high morale and low sanity. Megalomania. Ooh. High morale and low sanity. No enemies nearby. Interesting. I wonder if you have no enemy nearby. I wonder what would trigger the low sanity effect. Megalomania is one of the most favorite states of our most favorite states. Although it's often reported as a bug, it's still amusing to see how new players perceive their fake stats boosts as real and generally begin to feel stronger, acting as recklessly as their character would. Because of that, the mechanic is falsely displayed stat remains exactly the same. No way, that's cool. That's so cool. To further highlight the character's sudden surge of arrogance, Megalomania now includes a gradually increasing penalty to trade favorability and reputation gain. which resets upon completing contracts. In combat, the character will have a chance to start loudly taunting enemies, potentially attracting unwanted reinforcements. And since the character deems caution beneath them, their passive chance to detect traps and hear unseen enemies will be reduced to 0%. That is so thematic, man. That is awesome. Are you kidding me right now? Okay, that is fucking awesome. That's so incredibly thematic. That's great. Okay, so that was Frenzy. Okay. I actually remembered correctly here. High health and multiple enemies nearby. Right. Frenzy provides substantial boost to weapon damage and magic power. However, all attacks and certain abilities have a chance to target a random nearby enemy instead of the intended one. This chance grows over time but can be reset by skipping a turn. Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I didn't know that. Similarly, when walking to other tiles, your character may take a step toward the nearest enemy rather than their intended destination. Nice. That is cool. That is really cool and thematic too. That's really cool. Death Wish. Oh, I thought it was Madness. But I guess they changed it. Low health and at least one enemy nearby. Death Wish is a reimagined blend of current sadism and masochism. Oh yes, it's not madness, it's sadism and masochism. Right. The character suffers significant penalties to healing efficiency, energy restoration, damage taken, and range. In exchange, they get bonuses to life and energy drain. That scale with pain and missing health. Life and energy drain also affects spell damage, although this bonus becomes weaker with its style of distance from the target. Killing enemies reduces the effect duration. Yeah, it's right. I had this happening sometimes. It wasn't too often, but it happens sometimes. Yeah, this is pessimism, low morale and high sanity. Yeah, when you feel like shit practically. Pessimism applies to experience gain and gradually dampens the character's morale even further. It also reduces fortitude, healing efficiency, and fatigue resistance. The penalty severity scales with missing morale. Pessimism can be temporarily removed by using consumables that benefit morale, such as alcohol. Ah, okay. I mean, that's pretty fine, right? You can't just remove it like that. I mean, you can't stack on alcohol because then you're gonna be toxic as balls. But I mean, it works. Anxiety, that's a new one. High health and multiple enemies nearby. Anxiety improves dodge chance and reduces damage taken, but all your attacks and spells will generate penalties to accuracy, fumble chance, and backfire chance, respectively. Enemies fumble or backfire spell will result in corresponding penalties. Yikes! In addition, each turn there is a chance for one of our attack skills to go on one turn cooldown. Oof. Panic. Low health and at least one enemy nearby. Panic gives one of a time energy boost, significantly reduces vision range while also lowering abilities energy cost for each enemy inside. Okay, that's a good buff. However, each enemy within vision will also continuously drain the character's morale, and even if it reaches 0, your mercenary will drop their equipped weapon. Holy shit! Wow. This can be avoided by skipping turns, which replenishes some morale and greatly reduces the effect's duration. Oh! Okay, that's cool. So if you skip a turn, then you actually slow down the effect of this. Okay. So there is one more. Low morale and low sanity, paranoia. This is the last effect of this tile. Still no effects nearby. Interesting. Paranoia causes your mercenary to quickly accumulate fatigue, which in turn worsens the state's penalties to abilities, energy cost, damage taken, fumble chance, and backfire chance. Furthermore, the characters may occasionally hear non-existent voices, and some encountered enemies will be hallucinated illusions. If such an illusion reaches an adjacent tile, it will vanish, damaging your sanity, Alternatively, you can attempt to preemptively destroy it to replenish some sanity instead. Oh. No way. Look at that. Found you at last. It was an illusion. That's cool, man. Finally good games again. Yo, Silent, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I mean, yes, these are some amazing changes, man. I'll be honest. I am really liking how they are reworking the morale effects, the morale statuses and stuff like that. Really good, really smart, and really actually way more understandable, right? Really spooky, scary skeletons. Exactly, I know, right? And it's gonna actually affect your morale and your sanity. What kind of enemies you encounter and stuff like that. The way what kind of food you feed your character, how often you sleep and how long. Like all of these things are gonna affect your morale and your sanity, which is so cool, man. So here we have the status effects that have to do with low morale. No, wait. We are here. We are low morale and low sanity now. Low morale and low sanity was paranoia. Wait, didn't we just read this one? So we're now more high sanity. Did they actually write it in the wrong thing? Low morale and high sanity. Oh, I read it all. Okay, yeah. No. That was a different tree. Okay, that's fair enough. Low morale, low sanity, delirium. Condition, high health and multiple enemies nearby. A character affected by delirium behaves irrationally. Depending on their missing morale and sanity, they have a chance to take a step in a random direction when moving. Land their abilities on random tiles around their intended target, or drop items instead of using them. Holy shit, man. Practically, they are insane. Delirium also heavily randomizes all received experience regardless of its source. No way, dude. I don't play this game because several reasons. Now they add more shit. Exactly. I was about to say that if the game annoyed you previously, oh my god, now it's gonna bust your balls, Silent. Holy crap. I mean, to be honest though, it's not so much that they added more things in it. Most of those effects existed before, but they were so hard to trigger, and the effects were so convoluted, but that you couldn't really recreate it. You would have some of these effects happen to you by chance because something you did, and you would have no idea why it happened, right? So most of these effects exist right now, but now it's way more clear why they happen. And also you can in this way you can also recreate them if you want them to happen, right? This game lost me, really? It didn't keep your attention, Infernal? Hello, by the way. Welcome. Hi, nice to see you, buddy. Hello, Infernal. You know what this game is, right? 70 hours on the clock. Oh, it did at the start? Ah, I see. Give me 1 second, Silent. I will see your link. I just wanna finish the thing first. So at first you liked it and then it lost your interest, Infernal? Catharsis. Oh, so Catharsis is a low morale, low sanity buff. Interesting. Low health. Low health and at least one enemy nearby. Okay, I wonder what Catharsis can be seen as a cousin to Second Wind, offering a chance at redemption when death is all but certain. Upon activation, it replenishes a small amount of health and energy, while also allowing you to replenish health, energy, morale, and sanity with each enemy killed, potentially letting you claw your way out of the pits of low psyche. Moreover, after it ends, Catharsis grants temporal immunity to negative psyche states, depending on how many enemies were killed on its duration. That is cool, man. That is, boys, that is actually so cool. Because now you can be out in a huge quest, for example, right? You can be all fucked up and messed up in your head and whatnot. And this actually will give you a chance to have a clean slate and come back to the pits of madness, right? And actually restore your character in a normal way. That is cool. So catharsis is a last stand for your mental state, and second wind is a last stand for your body and your healing and your wounds. Nice, that is so cool, man. Oh, we did at the start, but now this game is like 20 per 20 hexes. It's needing like 100 individual steps to pass. They made it way too huge. Yeah, the map is huge. I mean, if that is something that annoys you, I can definitely understand it. I don't mind it personally. I don't mind at all. But I definitely understand why you would. Stoneshard, there are just too many mechanics, and instead making a dad-friendly difficulty or making it so I can choose to make a bit doable. This community is as toxic as it can be around, so yeah, pass 100% for now. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying. Definitely not dad-friendly. You are absolutely right, and I can see how it can be, you know, like elitists fan base, let's say. People like that. I mean, yes, I get it. I absolutely get it. Toxicity in gaming community? What? That is impossible, bro. There is one thing I will say in the defense of the game, though. If you ask me, if you came to me and you asked me, yo, Tyr, would you like an easier Stoneshard? I would say no. But the reason is, for example, is the same reason why I like the fact that there are no respects in the game. I like the permanence of the thing, because I think that the permanence increases the replayability. Because you cannot have a character that can do everything, right? You gotta still. It's not you know, it's not a thing that will appease many people. I completely understand. So I wouldn't ask for them to make the normal mode easier. Never did will. True. No, I understand. I would already hate it less if I could use the stuff I find in dungeon instead of the all broken stuff I have to pay repair. I mean, then again, if you find the shit you find in dungeons, you don't expect them to be pristine condition, right? Some item you found inside the buried crypt, God knows how many years, you would think that you would have to restore it first, right? I think. The only thing I would like is just freedom of saving and non-permadeath mode. Oh, Cannard. Okay, that's another thing. Freedom of saving. That's another thing that definitely is kind of convoluted, and I can see how the fan base can be torn around it, right? I totally agree. That would make it so much friendlier. Yes. You can only save in beds, and that would make it a lot friendlier. There you go. But I like it how it is. That's what I'm saying, right? I completely understand why you would want a friendlier save mechanic. But I like how difficult it is that you have to keep in mind that you have to sleep. It puts suspense in your game, I find. Would I like the ability to save before a boss, for example? Yes. Do I have to exit the dungeon and sleep on the mattress I had to bring in the end of the dungeon from the town, so I can save the game before I get into the boss? Is it shit? Yes. Yes, it is. Ads? Oh shit, ads. Yes, okay. We shall take a break in 30 minutes, so you guys don't miss any content with the ads. Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Silent. Thank you for reminding me, buddy. So. Oh, yes, true.